Welcome back to Petals and Thorns. I'm X.
And I'm O.
And week 4 of Katie's season of The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah. It almost looked like it was going to be a nice and boring episode for a little bit there. And then, nope. No.
It delivered. It delivered pretty well.
If you were looking for it. Yeah.
We start off with the group date that we didn't get last week.
Right.
And this group of guys, apparently Thomas was not part of the group. One of them was like, oh, this is my group of friends.
Oh,
Yay.
yeah.
Something along those
lines.
lines.
This is actually the close group of guys. I think that was Andrew that mentioned that, but I could be wrong.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But they ended up having a really nice, they weren't sure, when to bring Thomas up because they didn't want to, have Katie start to have a bad time, right? And then it just kind of goes to shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So in the end, they had such a fun time. They completely forgot about Thomas and everything was great.
Mm-hmm.
But come nighttime, the night portion of that group date, Trey starts to, I guess he's not distracted enough and he starts to think about it and he wants to bring it up and protect Miss Katie.
Yeah, well. Yeah, white knighting has never really worked in this show.
Yeah, never before, at least, or not usually.
Yeah.
Andrew disagreed with him and spoke up, and we agreed with Andrew.
Yeah.
He, like you said, that white knighting thing, that bringing up other guys during your time with the lead.
Right.
It's not a good idea. Usually people who probably don't have a chance of going much further than they already are.
Yeah,
those are the people that, whether it's producers suggesting it to them, like, hey, like you're if you don't do something, you're going home. Might as well like be the one to stand up for Kate. Like clearly she's appreciative of this. Like first with Carl, and then and whoever else. Like she's been listening. She's been receptive to these guys bringing up other guys problems. Oh, Cody was the first one. Cody and then Carl. So she's receptive to these guys bringing all this information to her attention. So Trey is determined that it's a good idea.
Right.
Andrew is just like, chill, and they just really go at it.
It's if Trey's intentions are good, which I don't doubt that they are, but him bringing that up to Katie does come with the, I guess, ulterior motive of like, hey, this is the way I get ahead. Let me take this guy out while he's bleeding, But I've never understood the purpose of bringing someone else up and the limited time that you have with the lead.
Right.
It's just never made sense to me. And not just that, but in a group date setting, I can only think of like, there's a time and a place. You will have the opportunity to address Katie. Thomas, which we'll get to, like he obviously found the time to go directly to Katie to talk to her. So that's a conversation that if Trey really wants to have, first of all, build your relationship. And then maybe the morning after, he can approach Katie somehow about this. But the idea of just doing it in that group date setting, knowing exactly what the vibe was going to be, it's not it. It's not it.
Luckily, it seemed like he went last, so it didn't affect the other guys.
Sure, yeah.
So when he was talking about it, I was like, if you're so determined to talk to her, you better go last. Like, if I were one of the other guys, I would say, you better go last then. Because it's going to just mess up the whole vibe, and it's going to take away
and that might have been a conversation that took place. Because it does seem kind of perfect that he was the last one.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really do too much to mess up the vibe.
Right.
Even though, Katie still out loud asked, okay, since it's been brought up, does anyone else have anything to say? And then everyone just kind of hopped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
To, keep, putting Thomas through the mud.
Yeah.
But again, man, it's just such a time and place thing for me if it really calls to you that much. Or like Andrew said, trust her. Trust that she'll see. If you're that concerned about your relationship with her, that's on you. But don't use another man's name to further yourself.
Right.
That's just not it.
Yeah. And I can understand though how, his intentions might have been good in the sense of, oh, we need to protect her. She said she wants to know when stuff like this is going on in the house. And then Andrew said, but she also said, trust me,
Mm-hmm.
and, she's a smart girl. Like you would think but sometimes there are things that you don't see that
There,
go on in the house. Then again, she was there when he straight up said that he had other intentions coming into this
exactly.
at that other group date with the
Exactly.
confessions.
Exactly. Like she has enough material to make an assessment in her time, like in due time.
Yeah.
Um for her, and this is what sucks, is that maybe she still would have kept Thomas through all this if the house itself wasn't making such a big stink about it. If it was a couple of
Yeah.
guys having
Seems
an
that
issue.
way.
I mean, we saw her conversation with Nick Vial and how she said,
Mhm.
like, I mean, I was looking forward to fantasy suites
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, I respect that, which clearly tells me, like, she knows who she wants already.
Mhm.
Maybe not necessarily Thomas, but yeah, she
Yeah.
wanted to sample that. Amen to that. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome for her. But if it's getting to the point that it's disrupting any little bit of time you actually have with these men, which is what happened at the cocktail party, that suddenly every single guy only wanted to talk about Thomas, is like, okay, fine, I'll get him out of here because
Mostly because it's exhausting and
it's
she's just tired
it's
of.
boring. It's boring.
Mhm.
It's exhausting. And she's like, why do I have to respond for that man's actions at this point? Like, if
Yeah.
y'all have a problem with him, sort it out. But like, stop coming to me with this.
Yeah, and not just that, because their intention is to tell her why he's not good for her because his intentions aren't good or whatever,
It's sharks in the
and so.
water. It's sharks in the water. That's all it is. And I can imagine her just being so over it because personally, how unattractive
Mhm.
is it to her that, guy after guy after guy, the 5 minutes they get with her, they're spending it talking about this other guy. Like, tell me
Mhm.
about you. Like, just let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's build this relationship. There's still 15 of you here.
Yep.
You can be cut tonight.
Yeah.
Worry about that.
Mhm.